Hello there. Aren't you a lucky boy and or girl? I really don't know. But today you've stumbled upon the Eccentric Academy movie night. So this is really cool. This is a brand new era of me reviewing movies. So I'm gonna be doing stuff a little bit differently now. I'm trying out some new things. But part of what I'm trying now is I am going to be doing this little bit before I even watch the episode, just because I think that's fun. So maybe if you want to get real cool with this, you can watch this part of the video and then pause it, then go and watch the movie that I'm talking about. And then you can come back and finish the video. It will be like we're a couple of friends at sleepover watching a movie, right? It's cool. I've got chips. I eat too many chips, and that's not important. You don't need to talk about my diet. That's not important. So if you want to do that, you can find the Doctor Who episode, Vincent and the Doctor, because that's what we're watching. I do want to say this episode, I do remember watching as a child, and I don't remember particularly liking it, but I do think it was sort of the first time I learned who Vincent van Gogh is. So, people say Doctor Who was meant to be educational. I wager it still is, because it taught me who Vincent van Gogh is. Yeah, but I remember, and this I'll put up a spoiler warning, like a river song or something. But I do remember that Amy and the Doctor try to convince Van Gogh not to, Kurt Cobain himself. And I remember they don't succeed, and they're disappointed about that. And I remember they go back to the museum where it has all the Van Gogh stuff that they're looking at the beginning of the episode. And they're like, oh, there's going to be so much more, and then it ends up they didn't succeed in saving him, essentially. But anyway, I'm excited to watch this. You can go watch it now. It will be like we're watching it at the same time. It will be a ton of fun. You'll love it. I'll love it. And then it can almost be like we have friends. We're friends, and we aren't just two lonely people on YouTube, having an imaginary friendship via the internet because we're too nerdy to actually find friends. This got sad really fast. I'm just gonna watch the episode. Okay, so as you'll know from my last video, the review I did on the Clone Wars, if you watched it, what I'm doing now is instead of doing a ranking separately from my likes and dislikes from the episode, is I am going to be giving and taking away points for things that I like or dislike. I'm taking away points for things that I dislike, and I'm giving points for things I do like. Baja Blast is the drink of the day. So, first thing I want to do is I want to add 1 point for the opening. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see, but I wrote 1 point. I thought the opening of this episode with Van Gogh painting, and then we of course see the painting he's painting in the museum. I thought that was pretty cool. I liked that quite a bit. The problem is, now I can't use this on this. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. Because this will just soak through all the pages. Oh, another point. Little interaction between Amy and the doctor. And that's Amy being like, why are you being so nice to me? And he's like, oh, there's no reason. Of course, alluding to the death of Rory. But then she's like, I'm joking. And then she's like, why aren't you joking? I thought that was good. A point given for the TARDIS scaring away cats. We are not cat lovers here. In fact, I would like a TARDIS to show up at my house, scare away all of the cats that live at my house. To the death of all canines. Fantastic. A point to the mention of the Starry Night painting. I think Starry Night is actually one of my favorite famous paintings, because I think I've always been obsessed with outer space. I like stars, I like space, and I just think the painting is pretty cool. And also, I'm gonna do a bumped up 2 points for a related thing, but that's of course when Van Gogh, the doctor, and Amy are all looking at the stars and it becomes the painting. I just thought that was really cool to look at. I liked it quite a bit. Okay, a little comedic line that got a laugh from me was the doctor saying, don't let any invisible monsters in through the front door while I'm gone. It's just a little snicker, so it's worth a point. And next, we give 2 points for showing previous doctors, including our best boy, Willie Hartnell. 2 points for you, William. We like William Hartnell here. I like William Hartnell. I'm the only we. Well, you're part of we. What am I saying? A point for Van Gogh being able to tell Amy is sad, even though Amy doesn't realize she's sad. She doesn't know why she's sad. Now, we're going to give a point for the doctor comforting the alien monster that Van Gogh kills as it's dying. I think it's nice to see the doctor mourning over a death, which on that topic, if you want to hear me get into how modern Who messed that up in a huge way, I'm going to link a video right there. It's about incels. Anyway, you'll like it. You'll love it. It's great. It's a great video. I spent time on it. I spent a lot of time on it. Accidentally deleted it at one point and had to completely re-edit it from scratch. Anyway, watch that video. I wanted to add a point for a nice little visual of the TARDIS being covered in these posters in the past, and then they go to the future and the posters are burning away. Because I guess flying through the time stream burned the posters. So I thought that was a nice detail. And we don't often really think about what going through the time stream does to stuff when they're outside of the TARDIS, right? The only time we really see in the time stream in the show is Captain Jack clinging to the outside of the TARDIS. Anyway, burning posters on the TARDIS I liked a lot, so I'm gonna give 1 point for that. I will say, if for some reason at any point I write a number backwards, I am known to do that. Don't make fun of me. Be nice. Now, I want to talk about the one bad thing, which it's more of it's not quite a bad thing, but because I understand why they did it, and I understand why it kind of seems like a good decision for the episode. Nonetheless, it seemed cheesy, it seemed irresponsible, but that is the Doctor showing Van Gogh the paintings in the museum or art gallery or whatever it was where they were looking at the Van Gogh paintings. And I could see the Doctor sort of being like, well, it's close to the point where he's gonna die, so it's not gonna alter anything anyway, because he didn't seem to be surprised that Van Gogh still died, making what I said I remembered, a little bit off, but, same basic thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter, that's yesterday's Cademan. Today's Cademan knows more, or something. What am I saying? So anyway, I could see the Doctor, thinking something like that, but I wish he would have said that, or I wish maybe they had done something where here's let me pitch how I would have written it. The Doctor goes to Van Gogh when he's in the act of ending his life. And he is able to stop time on Van Gogh as he's dying, and he says, I want you to see how much you mean to people before you die. And then he goes and he shows him the thing. Everything plays out exactly the same. And then as Van Gogh's dying, he ends up, crying, realizing how much he meant to so many people, and then he accepts that he's gonna die, but that his life was not for nothing. I think that would be a better ending to this, because again, just the Doctor willing to alter stuff, I just don't like. So anyway, that's just a big old -1 point for my ranking of this. -1 point minus. Now it's time for a new session I call Just a Little Tidbit. That was like a thought I had during the episode. Okay, so watching this episode when they first showed up and were looking for Van Gogh, and they went to that bar place, I thought to myself, how people look at Van Gogh in this episode is probably how most people would treat the Doctor if the show was more realistic. But of course the show likes to make everyone love the Doctor all the time, so particularly in this era of the show. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting how, maybe they could have done something with that where Van Gogh is oh, I'm misunderstood and no one understands my art and stuff. And the Doctor's oh, I relate to that because no one understands my time travel brain or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's the little tidbit part. And now for the meat and potatoes, the big fat juicy cow heart of my eccentric reviews. and that is the moral. Now this moral is probably obvious, but meaningful at the same time. And that moral is, of course, that just like Van Gogh, a lot of times when you're making stuff, no one appreciates it, no one appreciates you, it feels like, and you don't seem to be getting anywhere. But to just remember that people are affected and encouraged by your stuff, whether or not you see it. And that's like, maybe in the case of Van Gogh, it's like, people will find your art and appreciate it after you're dead. And maybe it's just people around you, who do see what you're doing and they are appreciating it. But you just don't realize it, right? Because your brain likes to be your own worst critic, as the saying goes. So that's my moral, and I just want everyone to, who's watching this, to be like, hey, it's okay to make some stuff. I did a video talking about my struggle to make stuff because of a lot of times it's more exciting to make stuff than, or like the idea of stuff, than actually making it. But then, coming around to that, the making stuff itself can be rewarding in of itself. Anyway, watch that video. You'll love it. It features this whiteboard with Batman, long neck Batman. I put Batman, and then editing it, I was like, why did I make long neck Batman? But now is the official mascot of the school. The Eccentric Academy mascot is long neck Batman. Our football team, they all have like, they wrap their necks so their necks get longer, like the one tribe in Africa, I think it is. But you know what I'm talking about, where they wrap their necks and it pushes their head. Anyway, our football team does that. I'm just talking nonsense at this point. But yeah, no, absolutely. Make stuff, right? Whether you want to be a painter, you want to be a writer, you want to be a director, you gotta start somewhere. Make bad stuff, get better, and I promise you that even if you aren't, from your perspective, successful, there will be people who are inspired and encouraged by what you make, as long as you are brave enough to make it. With that being said, thank you so much for, just being here with me. I'm so glad that you had nothing better to do. Anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you want to watch other reviews of the show Doctor Who, which is this show, not this show that you're watching on YouTube, but this show that this show talks about, or this video has talked about that show. I'm confusing myself now. Anyway, Doctor Who, let's put Star Wars videos right here. If you want to watch either of those, do it. What's stopping you, man? And always brush your teeth every day.